Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a full face of Wet n Wild makeup. Some of these products I've used before and loved them. Some of these are actually new that I need to pick up to do this video. So we're literally going to put just Wet n Wild on our face and just see how everything looks. I can tell you my thoughts on everything. Obviously products I've used and loved and really have an opinion about I can tell you about, and then some of these are also first impressions. So we have primers, foundations, powders, concealers, brows, bronzer, blush, highlight, lip, setting spray, mascaras, eyeliner, and eyeshadow palettes. There's lots of stuff here, so I hope you guys are excited, and let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. So I'm going to start off with my eyes first, just because that's normally what I like to start off with, and I will apply just a little bit of tape right here, because I really like when I do my eyeshadow and I have a line. So now that we have the tape down, we're just going to go in with the eyeshadow primer. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. I think they redid the formula of this, and their whole Photo Focus line came out with the foundation and concealer. But this is skin tone, so it'll help conceal maybe any veins or discoloration that you have on your eyes. But it seems pretty creamy. I actually really like this. I think it's comparable to my Milani primer. I mean, granted, they're both drugstore, but it has that same kind of feeling, the same skin tone color also. So I have two eyeshadow palettes that we're going to use today, and it's their kind of like bigger size eyeshadow palettes. The one I'm holding right now is the All Natural, I'm assuming how you say it, in 750 for Nude Awakening. This is a little more rosy. Reminds you a lot of the Naked 3 palette by Urban Decay. There's 5 mattes in here, so this one actually has more mattes than this one, and this was the All Natural 753 Bare Necessities. This was like the original Urban Decay palette, and this one only has two mattes in it, and the rest are completely shimmer. So I wanted to incorporate both, that way I had more mattes to choose from. So we're actually gonna go into the Nude Awakening palette, this kind of more like rosy tone. I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit, and we're going to take this first bone kind of shade, and just on a fluffy brush, ooh, those are really powdery and really pigmented, I'm just going to set that primer. And there's no shimmer in here whatsoever, but it definitely brightened up my eyeball. I mean, you can tell it's very white, but there is lots of kick up on the palette when you actually dip your brush in, so I would keep that in mind if you didn't like that. And I've never used these before, it's the first time I've been using these, but they're really pigmented. At least this white one is, like, you can definitely tell I put a white shade on my eyes. So I don't really know what I want to go, like what I want to do with these palettes, honestly. So I think we're going to go in with the Bare Necessities palette now, in this middle, like it's right over here, this middle like matte brown shade. I'm going to take on a fluffy brush and apply this into my crease. So there's definitely a lot of fallout. I mean, there's like eyeshadow going all over my desk right here. This one doesn't seem that pigmented, honestly, and I'm not even tapping off my brush anymore. There's a little bit of color to it, but not too much, but that's okay. This one to blend this into the crease. I'm gonna go in back with the same Bare Necessities palette and take that kind of deeper brown shade with the same brush. I'm gonna take a little bit of it at first, just because I want to see. So I feel like this one has a little bit more color, and I'm putting this directly into my crease, not fluffing it anymore up or down. But this one's a little bit more pigmented, so you can tell my crease is a little bit darker now that I put that other shade in there, but it's not extremely dark. So I don't know, but I don't know what colors I want to play with. I feel like I really want to use that deep red in my outer corner. So I'm going to take a little more of a dense brush and go into the Nude Awakening into this really deep like maroon shade. And we're going to apply, ooh, that was like really powdery. We're going to apply this onto our outer. Okay, see, that's got some pigment. That was pigmented. We're going to put this right here into our outer V. Yeah, you can definitely tell that maroon shade is actually really pretty. This video is probably gonna be 20 million years long because we're trying everything out and putting all of it on our face, and I'm gonna talk about everything, but oh well. I'm gonna go back in with that first brush and just blend right here, kind of like right above our outer V, just make sure it's all blended together. And then I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more of a denser brush, this is a Real Techniques one. And I'm gonna go in with this brown, like just kind of like dark brown shade. And I want my crease to be a little darker, that way the outer V is not so dark and then the crease has like nothing in it. That made it a little bit darker. So far I actually like this palette. This, is it Nude Awakening? Yes, Nude Awakening more than Bare Necessities. I feel like the Nude Awakening, granted, doesn't have as many mattes as the Bare Necessities one does, but I feel like the shadows are more pigmented. Deepen up our outer V one more time, and then we'll go in with our lid color. And I'm really curious to see actually how the glitters and all that look. Like if they actually are pigmented and they look pretty. But the eyeshadow, I can tell right here, it has a little bit of like a creasing to it. Like you have that line, you have a couple, like 3 little lines right here. Those do bother me. I have other eyeshadow palettes that do that also. They do bother me, but it's okay. We'll try to go around it. So now we're going to go in with a glitter shade. I don't know what shade I want to use. I don't know if I want to use like one of these rosy gold shades. I kind of want to use this blue. It's really creamy and it's kind of like this pretty like gray blue. Like it's really pretty. I feel like, I don't know, be different than what I always do. So I'm gonna take MAC 242 and no Fix Plus or anything. I'm just, wow, there's a lot of product on there. Just going to apply. Okay, so we got Fallout City now from this one. But wow, that is actually really pretty. I wish these had a mirror too, that'd be kind of nice. But talk about some fallout. I'm kind of doing like a half cut crease because I'm kind of carving out my eyeball. This, we're using the Bare Necessities palette, so we're gonna go back in with the Barely There palette, or no, Nude Awakening. I don't know where I got Barely There from. And then we're gonna go back in with the maroon. Whew, yeah, my whole like nose and cheekbone area is covered in fallout. But if that is the look we have right now, and I'm completely covered in fallout, so I'm actually going to pull the tape off. And now we have a really sharp line, and I'm going to grab a wipe. I do not like these wipes, but it will do right now for wiping off the fallout. Okay, so now that the eyes are done, just for the top part, I have to say it looks really good. I actually like these colors together with the maroon and the blue. Really dark, even though we're in spring, but oh well. Going to take the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer now. Never used this before, so we'll just see. Nicole Renee Cutler raves about this stuff, and I've never used it before, so we'll just have to see. I'm just going to put a little bit on the, ooh. Okay, so there's like a giant hole this stuff comes out of. Just squirts out, and it's white, so we're going to, it almost feels like and smells like suntan lotion. Not suntan lotion, but sunscreen. Just refines pores. It's just called a magic potion. So I don't really know anything about it other than that. But for foundation, of course, we're gonna go with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I mean, how could you not? This is in Nude Ivory. I love this stuff. I did a whole like video dedicated to this and like the new Photo Focus products a while back actually, and I haven't used this foundation in so long. Yeah, it does smell like paint. Like I'm like legit talking like Home Depot like paint, like you go in there and buy some paint. This is the Ulta brand sponge. I really like this sponge. I've stopped using my L'Oreal sponge for this, so that's a big thing, and I love it so much. I love the shape of it, just like a beauty blender. But yeah, the smell of the foundation is not the most pleasant thing in the world, but it definitely has some coverage, and since it's summer now, I could probably get a shade darker. And I have this nice little acne dot there, which is just wonderful. So I'll probably have to get a darker shade because this is like looking really white, because I actually bought this like beginning of the year when it first came out and all that. And I wasn't this like tan because obviously it was cooler, more winter months. I look like a ghost. Look how white this is. Whew. Blend it down the neck. We'll just have to bronze till our hand falls off. But you know what? That is a-okay. And the concealer is the same thing. It's the Photo Focus Concealer. This is in shade Light Ivory. And I'm going to conceal with this and highlight. I really love, like I said, the whole Photo Focus line. It's really amazing. Love the concealer. It has nice full coverage for it, especially since it's like, well, I don't know, like $4. And using that same sponge, we're just going to blend everything out and give myself some life because I look like a freaking ghost. I just didn't think, like, you look at this in the bottle, you don't think it's gonna be that pale. Like, I really didn't think it would be this pale, but. So now we're gonna go in and set our whole face. I normally set my whole face with this foundation. Not with this foundation, but with this powder, I normally set it. And this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Pressed Powder in Warm Light. And I'm just going to take a brush and set my under eye, set my whole face. I'm gonna give up even trying to cover up that little pimple scab thing because there's really no point. So now we're going to go in with our bronzer, thank the Lord, because this is actually a little darker than normally what I would go for, but I need that right now because look at the difference. Oh, this is funny. This is a Morphe brush, just really big fluffy brush. They're gonna go in and, oh, give myself some color here. I never knew a foundation could be so light sometimes. I hope she's not gonna watch this, but my cousin, she probably will watch it, but my cousin is like pale, like the lightest shade of the foundation she thinks is too dark for her. And obviously we have, like, our dads are brothers, so obviously that's how we are cousins. And it's kind of funny that it's like that because sometimes I can move up in foundations and she literally stays like the lightest shade like all summer, all winter, like never changes. This little scab actually looks like a beauty mark, which is weird. And I really like this bronzer, especially when I'm like really fair like this and I need to bronze myself up. It's actually really nice. It has a little bit of an orange undertone in it, but honestly, it's needed right now. So next we're gonna go in with our blush. It's like a hair or something. And this is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Mellow Wine Blush. These are amazing, really pigmented, and like I think $2.99. Depends where you buy them because I know Walgreens CVS can be a little more expensive, but I'm talking the littlest, like just the littlest cap, and you get so much product. I don't know if anybody else's Morphe brushes do this, but this brush is loose. Like every time I use it, I can feel it kind of like shaking and moving around. I don't know if that's like normal of time for your Morphe brushes. I thought they weren't supposed to do that, but let's do the rest of our powders. Last thing we have left is highlight. This is of course Precious Petals. I mean, how can you not use it? So we're gonna go in and highlight with this. This is like the best thing I think Wet n Wild's ever come out with. I honestly have to say, like, by doing this video now, I've been wanting to do it for a while, just how to get all the products. Like, Wet n Wild has stepped up their game so much to, like, when I started doing my channel last year. It just, they've made the biggest difference. Now I'm going to just use this brow gel because it's the only thing I have for brow wise from them. See, Wet n Wild fills and defines brows. It's in, what is this in? Blonder Over Yonder. There's the gel, this is the only thing I could find, honestly, and the only thing I had in my collection right now because I honestly completely forgot about a brow product. So I'm glad I was able to find this because I actually picked it up a while ago. So it's in just like a little tube and we're just gonna see. So it has a little bitty spoolie. Do brush them through. I normally like to go with a blonde shade because my hair is blonde, and sometimes I like my brows a little blonder, sometimes I like a little darker. Kind of just depends. But I may get a shade darker because I feel like this is like really blonde and it's like really wet. It's applying a lot of the brow color, which is nice, but then it's kind of like I didn't want him like this light. But oh well, I mean, we'll just have to deal with it for now. So after that, I'm going to finish the lower lash line. I'm going to apply some liner. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Lash Retractable Liner. I was really excited when I found this because this is like their, I think one of their first retractable eyeliners. So it's actually really black, really creamy. It's nice. There's really nothing bad I have to say about it. But we are going to finish up our eyeballs, and I don't know if I want to do real like smoky lower lash line. I mean, I already did on the top, so might as well just carry that onto the bottom. But we're gonna go in with a mix of the, I think, maroon shade. I'm feeling the maroon on the lower lash line. So I'm gonna literally put that only like 75% of the way in. And then towards the inner corner, I'm just gonna go with a little bit of a lighter shade and blend these together. And then we're going to highlight our inner corner and our brow bone. We'll just take Precious Petals again because I'm feeling Precious Petals. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that and apply it to our brow bone. And then we're gonna go in with mascaras. I'm gonna use two of the mascaras, the Lash Renegade and the Lower Lash Mascara. Love both of these, so I mean, there's really nothing, you know, bad to say about them. I love them. So mascara's on, and I love both mascaras. My top lashes are so long right now, and I was gonna put on Nudie Patootie, but I feel like that's like really nude right now with this eye look. So I may change it. I gotta find another Wet n Wild lipstick though. I only have a couple of their catsuit lipsticks. So I'm gonna just go in with Tried and True Rebel Rose because I know that'll look pretty with the maroon. And then we are going to go in with a little spritz of their makeup setting spray, if I can figure out how to open it. And I've never used this before either, so just see. I've heard some people say it's good, some people say it's bad, but this is the Photo Focus Setting Spray. And it's like this little bitty bottle and there's a giant pump, but it's a really fine mist. Doesn't smell, oh, well, smells like glue. I don't know, but let's just see. Yeah, really fine mist. That got my face really wet. But I hope none of this breaks me out because I will be so mad. This is the completed look. I am like really loving this eyeshadow, like this kind of like more cool tone eyeshadow. I used no warm tone except in the crease just because I needed to, but it looks really good. And I mostly use the Nude Awakening palette. So let me go through everything. I'll give you my, you know, kind of thoughts on it. So primer for face, I like it. I feel like it almost had like a blurring effect to it, kind of like smoothing. So far so good on that. I love the eyeshadow primer, I've already said that. Foundation, I love it. I need a darker shade or I'll just keep it bronzing that much to keep up with my normal skin color. Concealer, I love the concealer. It doesn't crease and it has a really nice coverage to it. I love the setting powder. I've always loved that powder. Blush is really pigmented. I mean, you saw how much blush came off. I had to go with another brush to blend it out. Love the bronzer with this foundation because it is lighter now, so I feel like it definitely bronzes up my skin better. The highlighter, I mean, come on, how can you not like this? I mean, they have another one in Crown of My Canopy that's a little bit more golden, but I tend to go towards this one. The palettes, now I don't think I would recommend the Bare Necessities one unless you want this blue shade, because the blue shade's in this one and not the Nude Awakening. So I really like it for like the blue shade in here and maybe that gold, but I really like the Nude Awakening. Something about this one just seems better, more pigmented, easy to blend. So I'd probably go with the rosy one over the more nude one. Mascaras, I love. Eyeliner, I love. The liquid lipstick, I mean, I love those. The brow mascara is a little iffy. It's definitely really hard on my brows, but I just feel like it was a little too wet. That's my only complaint. And then the setting spray, it was nice, had a really nice mist to it. Smelled a little weird, but other than that, it was actually really nice. So this is the completed look with the eyes. I honestly love these eyes so much. I love it, and the little dot. I love the liquid lip. I love the highlight and the bronzer. I just love everything about it. It looks so pretty. I love all the products I use. So if you want to see me do any more like one brand tutorials or anything like that, using like NYX or CoverGirl, Maybelline, anything like that, let me know. This is just the first one I was able to collect all the products over. Plus it's, you know, really budget friendly. It doesn't hurt the budget. You can buy all the stuff and probably stay close or under $50, which is a great thing, honestly, when it comes to makeup nowadays. So I will list all the products, everything down below. That way you can find them or buy them yourself, try them out. I highly recommend any of them except the brow mascara. That's a little iffy. But I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Please subscribe before you leave it. Give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys later. Bye, y'all.